fantastic weekend. So I'm going to give it about 2 seconds for everyone to hop on. So welcome to our morning live stream on this Monday. So we go live every single Monday at 9 a.m. Central. Today we're covering YouTube leads and how to actually generate leads through YouTube, because believe it or not, it is possible. So we're talking about how to get buyer leads, and I'm going to give you some actual topics, some titles that you will want to consider as you are creating your content. So there can be something. Well, let me go to the next point. You're also going to get real estate leads on the seller side. So I know that right now there's just so much competition from the buyer side and such a lack of inventory. So I'm going to give you some. Titles that you'll want to start recording, because it can get very frustrating to create content after content after content and see very little traction, aka zero traction, whenever you record your videos and get maybe 1 view, 5 views, 10 views. It can get a little bit demoralizing. So I'm going to give you some topics that you want to start recording on immediately. So we're gonna get going. The notifications should start going out as you're coming in. A like is gonna go a long way. It's gonna really help out the channel so more and more people can get access to it. All right, so let's get going. All right, so we're gonna go over here, boom, 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 and at any point you have a question, please feel free to drop it. Oops, see. There you go with the notification. So we should start seeing some people hop on. Alrighty. The very first video is how to generate buyer leads. So this is something that is designed to generate buyer leads for you. So this is the first type of video that you'll want to record, meaning moving to Dallas, moving to Dallas-Fort Worth, moving to a certain area that is sizable enough to where people would look for it specifically. So I'll give you an example. There's a huge migration from California into Texas right now, just astronomical, record number. So, but the difference is when people are from California looking to relocate to Texas, they don't know everything about Texas. They don't know where Lubbock is. They don't know where San Antonio is. They don't know how far Dallas is from Houston. They don't know where El Paso is. So this can become problematic. So you, as a real estate agent, you can become that tour guide in the real estate sense in sharing information that a lot of people moving into the state really need to know, because they don't. Now, on the flip side, I don't really know too much about California. We do have a sizable audience from California, and I also have a real estate team out there. So we have right now we're around 12 to 15 agents, but I just know them by cities. So I don't necessarily know where they are geographically to each other. So on the flip side, I have the same issue on the California side, and same thing with Florida, same thing with New York. So this is something you can help the people that are moving into Texas be a little bit better. So here, the progression of events is starting from the California side. Starting from the Texas as a whole, moving to Texas. So you record that video. And then moving to Dallas-Fort Worth, then you record that video. And then moving to your specific city, that's the progression of events that you start recording around. Is this making sense? Just making sure that my streaming software is acting up a little bit. So let me know if you can hear me okay, and a like is going to go a long way. It's going to send out the notifications that we are on. So that's the first type of video that you'll want to record, because it will work. It's going to give you people that are interested in the particular area that you want to move in. So that's something extremely important, because you're a real estate agent. Yes, you can get referrals, and you can get a piece of the action per se in different areas, in different states. But at the end of the day, you want more and more people that you can personally work with, because at that point, that's your clientele. All right, so that's going to get you some buyer leads. So let's talk about another video that's going to get you some buyer leads. So again, we're talking about YouTube. We're talking about YouTube in relation to your business, making videos on YouTube that are going to actually get you results, that are actually going to get you views, and that are more importantly, going to get you clients, that are going to get you home buyers and home sellers. So right now what we're covering is the home buyer side. best neighborhoods in. So here we're getting a little bit closer to the action, a little bit closer to your area. So if you happen to live in, let's just say, Dallas, then you can highlight the best neighborhoods in your opinion that people are wanting to move to. So you know generally what prices are in certain areas. So I know that Bishop Arts is extremely expensive for where it's at right now. I know that Deep Ellum is extremely expensive as well. So you know these areas, you know the Highland Parks of the world, you know the community, so you can start ranking them based off of cost, based off of quality of life, based off of everything else that you want to factor into the equation. You can put the median price to rent, the median home price. You can really get creative with it, but basically what you're highlighting there is highlighting your professionalism and also the authority that you have as a real estate agent, because there's big power whenever you rank something as a real estate agent, because you are perceived to be the expert. And the moment that you share more about the community, the more that you're going to be seen as that local expert, that somebody is going to reach out to you to ask about X, Y, and Z. So just over the weekend, even though I don't put too much content out there about real estate buying and selling anymore, there's a good amount of my friends and good amount of acquaintances that reach out to me asking about the rates, asking about the home prices, asking about, is this a bubble, asking about X, Y, and Z. So that's because I built this reputation. All right, so who do we have here? Chrissy. Hey, Jaime. Hey, thanks for being here. Appreciate you hopping on. Folks, my countdown is a little bit off. It shows, I'm used to seeing, this just moved all over the place on me, but I'm so sorry if I keep looking over here because I can't make heads or tails of this. But anyway, we're going to keep going. So what we talked about is the moving to videos. We've talked about the best neighborhoods in a certain area. Let's move on to the third example that I want to share with you today. Everything you need to know about Dallas, everything you need to know about Frisco, everything you need to know about San Antonio, everything you need to know about Orlando, everything you need to know about New York City. This is going to be kind of like, if you've done any blogging before, there's this concept or this strategy called the mega post, where you make an absolute killer piece of content and you post it on your website. So it covers everything from A to Z. Very much the same strategy and structure with this particular video, the everything you need to know about Dallas. The reason that you're making this video is because you're going to cover a lot of information here. You're going to cover schools. You're going to cover the price of real estate. You're going to cover quality of living. You're going to cover the price of certain items in a particular area. So you're going to cover everything that you possibly can. Now, this is a type of video that's going to get you some buyers, but this is also that type of video that it has the most flexibility because you can take it every direction that you want. You can do aerial footage, you can do stock footage, you can highlight parks if that's your interest. You can highlight any different element that you particularly find attractive or that you particularly would be swayed if you were moving into the area. So this is the one that, although is designed to encompass the most amount of items in a particular video, this is the one that gives you the most flexibility. So you have that option of including anything you want. So you're the director, you're the creator, you're the author of your own story in this particular setting. So here you're not pigeonholed on where you take the video. It's something that you get to decide. So again, we're talking about YouTube. As you're coming in, a like is going to go a long way. It's going to help send out the notifications because they take a little while to go out. Now, if there's any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section. I am monitoring that if I can find it right there. So just let me know if there's any questions coming through. So right now we're talking about YouTube, and we're talking about videos that actually get you buyer leads, that actually get you real estate leads. And those are the three that we just covered. So we talked about moving to best neighborhoods in, and then everything you need to know about a particular city. So those are the three that we covered. Now let's switch gears. Now let's switch gears over to the selling side, the listing side, because right now, as we mentioned earlier, it's a seller's market and there's a lack of inventory. So realizing that, now you have the ability of creating content that, guess who? Homeowners are going to want to watch. So there's really, it's so common sense, but sometimes we just miss it. So if you've been making videos like the ones that I just mentioned to get buyers, that's great. But if you've only been focusing on those types of videos, you've neglected this whole other side of the equation, which is the home ownership side. So if you really focus in on homeowners, if you really provide value to homeowners, guess who's going to start calling you to help them with their real estate needs? Homeowners. Pretty straightforward, right? So anytime we talk about the home, anytime we talk about finances in relation to a home, anytime we talk about the process of selling a home, who are you speaking to directly? You're speaking to homeowners. You're speaking to people that will potentially sell in the very near future with you. So I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like here in 2 seconds. So one of the first videos that you'll want to make is, when is the best time to sell my home? So think about that particular question. Think about who would be typing this information. Well, somebody that's considering selling their home, right? Somebody that has a home for one, but two, somebody that's a little bit closer to the decision point of selling their home. So when is the best time to sell my home? So it's somebody that, that bug has been planted in their ear. They've been seeing these posts about rising home prices. They've been seeing these posts about record low interest rates. So to attract sellers, to attract listings, to attract real estate seller leads, basically, we're going to be speaking to them directly. And the people that would watch this video, when is the best time to sell your home? Who would those be? Those would be homeowners and people that have contemplated that in the past or are wanting to educate themselves a little bit further. So here's the decision point. So they're still homeowners, and this means after they sell. So this is the actual transaction. Well, who's going to, where are they in relation to that transaction? So when is the best time to sell my home? Well, they're probably right here. They're in the phase. If they're over here, this means that they're not even in the ballpark. Not even close, not on their mind, but now they're researching, they're trying to understand. So they're a lot closer to the decision point. So why am I spending some time with that explanation of the consumer decision? Well, think about it. The person that's watching this, how motivated are they? They're fairly motivated. They may not be highly motivated right now, but they're fairly motivated. So you don't need millions and millions and millions and millions of views of the people watching you here to get some meaningful business from that video. It'd be awesome if you got millions of views, but we don't all have that capability. There's not enough views in that particular segment to even accommodate that. So we're okay with a couple of views. We're okay with a couple hundred views. We're okay with a couple thousand views. We're okay with that because we understand where they are in relation to the transaction. So we don't need that many people. We don't need that many people to watch our content in order to be effective with our videos. So keep in mind how we started our live stream today. We were talking about making video after video after video and getting no views, getting no traction, which means you're getting zero business. So here, let's start rewiring our minds and rewiring the content that we're making, and really think about the consumer on the other end that's watching your videos, because those are the people that move anything. That's your clientele. So if you're making videos that you want to make, well, you're missing the boat, because you need to be making videos that your audience wants and needs. So I'm about to go on a longer rant, so I'm just going to stop. So is this making sense? Let me know in the comment section if this is making sense, if you made some of these videos in the past, and if it's something that you're currently doing. It's going to really help understand where we are right now. How can I get the most money for my home? This is the next video that you'll want to make. So how can I get the most money for my home? Think about who's asking that. Think about who's typing that into Google, into YouTube, into whatever search engine they want to go into. So how to get the most money for my home? Those are the people that are a little bit closer to the decision point. So they want to maximize their exit. They have this idea that they're going to exit. Now they just are looking for ways to improve it before they go out and reach out to a real estate agent, or they're just looking for a way to increase the value of their home before they do anything else. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. So how to get the most money for my home? That is super, super, super important for somebody that's going to sell their home. So you making a video about that and really focusing on the content and provide some actual information instead of this fluff, that is super critical. That is incredibly valuable. So don't make a video that just vaguely talks about something that may increase the value of their home. No, do some actual research that's going to provide value. So I'd like to think that I do that with this channel. So the way that I describe my channel is I'm not the sizzle guy. I'm not the guy that's flashing you Lambos and flashing you all this other stuff, even though I have the money to buy all that. Soft flex, I guess. But I'm not that person that needs to flaunt the new money that I have or don't have, and really try to sell you on, hey, I'm successful because I have this stuff, or I'm renting this stuff. I don't need to do that. I'd much rather give you the steak and potatoes, the actual information. Then you can go and act upon it or not. You can choose to believe me and say that and act upon it and see that it works for yourself, or you can go to the sizzle stuff that makes you feel good about somebody else's perceived success. Now, that's the nature of this channel. So that's the nature of the content that I provide. And I really, really, really want you to provide that same value, because there's a lot of sizzle, there's a lot of fluff, there's a lot of fake information out there, and perceived value that is actually fake value that doesn't mean anything. So whenever you're making videos like this, you need to help the person. You need to provide actual value. Don't just say you're going to help them and then do some vague stuff, sharing some strategies that may or may not work, and then just bounce. That's not going to help them. In fact, you're going to put them in a worse position. So whenever I'm saying how to get the most value for their home, don't suggest something stupid that is going to actually decrease the value of their home, because you don't know what you're talking about. So you need to do some research. And notice that I'm getting a little bit excited here, because it's something that I see happen far too often. I see a lot of clickbait. I see a lot of, hey, I'm going to show you this and do that or this other. When you watch the content, it's crap. So that is something that you don't want to do, because again, you're actually putting somebody in a worse position if you go out and say, hey, add another garage to your already 3-car garage. And for what reason? Right? So it's something that you need to provide sound advice. Don't just make it up. Do some research. If you don't know anything right now, you're new to real estate, that's fine. That's okay. Get some education. So learn yourself and then convey the message. Don't convey the message and then find out, oh crap, it's wrong. Right? So that's the wrong way of doing it. Man, I am going on a lot of rants today. You're getting me on unfiltered. So we're gonna slow down for a second. What house upgrades actually add value? Goes back to that previous example, right? So we just talked about how can I get the most value for my house? This is a little bit more direct, but here's what house upgrades actually add value. This is a little bit further away from the decision point. So somebody that is searching for this particular type of information is not somebody that's ready to sell their house today or a week from now. They may, but generally somebody that's searching for this is not looking to sell their house immediately. They may have actually just purchased their house and they need to do some upgrades, but they don't know which upgrades to do. They don't know, hey, should I just replace this carpet, or should I get wood flooring? Should I maintain this as a granite countertop, or should I go with quartz? There's that type of information that they're seeking. And if you can provide that valuable information of what you're seeing on the market today, it's going to help them out. Just understand that they may not all be close to this decision point of selling their home. They may have just purchased their home way back here and they just need some information, or they have a spring project that they just want to get hammered out and just want to see, hey, will this what type of upgrades can I do for my projects that's going to actually bring me value, and they have no intention of selling. And that's okay. That's okay. There's that slow burn. There's that slow nurture that you're going to bring people into your funnel. They don't all have to pick up the phone immediately and call you. Would we all love that? Yes, sure, of course. But that's not a reality. That's not going to happen. So as long as you diversify all of this content, catching people from all of their consumer habits, if you will, you're going to get business. But you just need to have that habit, right? You need to have the diversification, but you need to just continue showing up till ultimately there's a decision and they're going to reach out to you. Now, one of the questions is going to become, well, how do they reach out to me? They can call you, they can email you, they can DM you, they can find you. Everybody is findable at this point. At this point, everybody is absolutely findable. So make sure you give people that opportunity of finding you very easily. Link up your social media profiles in the description, in the comment section. Link it up on your channel banner. Link it up everywhere, but also invite people to reach out to you on the videos themselves. Don't get super pushy or anything like that, but inviting people and reminding people that you're a real estate agent is part of the game. Again, don't go into sales mode. Don't go into, hey, call me for all of your needs. That's just not going to work. It's not going to be that effective. So that's how you go about doing that. And also, just one last thing, I would suggest that you create a landing page of some sort offering something of value, whether that's a calculator, whether that's a seller net sheet, whether that's a quick mover's guide or a mover's check sheet. Sorry, avoid using the word guide. It's not performing that well right now. So use cheat sheet where you can, quick reference if you can, something that makes sense, but avoid the word guide right now. It's not that. It hasn't been performing very well for a little while now. So just giving you a little bit of a tip there. But when it comes to getting people into your CRM, that's where you're going to find a lot of movement. Inviting people down to the description and filling out one of your landing pages, where you're offering something of value. Again, a calculator goes a long way. A quick sheet goes a long way. Something that has value that will actually help the user. And in exchange for that value, they're giving you their email. Folks, it has been an absolute pleasure. I'm trying to keep these live streams a little bit shorter just to get the information into your hands, into your minds as quickly as possible. If this was valuable, please feel free to hit that like button and subscribe. That would be huge. It would really help me out a lot. Outside of that, I'll see you later on this week. I think we have our next live stream on Friday. Bye.